All right, I'm Chris Savina with American Outdoor News. Today we are here with a very special guest, Daniel Murphy, the father of Michael Murphy of Lone Survivor, Operation Red Wing.
Yep.
Thanks for taking the time to speak to us.
Oh, no, thank you. Yes, my son was Navy Lieutenant Michael P. Murphy, who received the Medal of Honor from President Bush in 2007 for actions in Afghanistan in 2005, which were recreated in the movie Lone Survivor. Marcus Luttrell was the only survivor of Michael's team. We're now building a Navy SEAL museum, which is going to tell the history, legacy, and sacrifices of our Navy SEALs in West Sable on County Parkland. It carries Michael's name, so it's called the Lieutenant Michael P. Murphy Navy SEAL Museum and Sea Cadet Training Facility, because it's a dual-purpose building, but it's not about Michael. It is actually about Navy SEALs from World War II, when they were known as underwater demolition teams, through the War on Terror. So,
Changed and evolved over time.
oh, for sure. And of course, today we're here at Big Daddy's celebrity golf outing. It's overcast with a little bit of rain, but I tell Big Daddy this is Navy SEAL weather, so they can play golf fine.
Anywhere, anytime.
Yep, exactly.
Now, getting off the topic of what's currently happening, for the people who served and sacrificed and everything that has gone on over the past 20 years, how does that affect you personally, how President Biden has pulled out of Afghanistan?
I've been asked that question a lot. I don't believe that Michael's or any of the other sacrifices were in vain. They kept this country safe for 20 years.
Yes.
Eventually, we knew we had to get out of Afghanistan. If I have any major complaint, it's that I consider Biden to have fumbled the ball. There are ways to get out, and there are ways to get out. You don't pull the military out and then say, oh, let's get the civilians out. Normally, the proper way is you get all the American civilians out, then you get the equipment out, and then you get us troops out. So, if I have a criticism, it would be that he basically fumbled this whole operation. I absolutely believe that his military leaders and whoever made these decisions probably should resign because it was an absolute boondoggle, personally.
It is, and I think a lot of the American public feels the same way.
Oh, sure. That's why the president's poll numbers have gone down. It just you shake your head and wonder why they made the decisions that they made, rather than having an orderly withdrawal. Being a military guy myself from Vietnam, it's just withdrawals are always the most complicated and require a lot of planning. This seems so haphazard that was okay, and to set an arbitrary date, we're going to leave by this date, seems to me political. You know, like I want to be out. I want to be out by August 31st, so that I can say on 9/11, hey, we're no longer in Afghanistan. So I think those were political decisions as opposed to military decisions.
Agreed.
Agreed. So that's the basic. That's the problem I see there, and that's why we're in the shape we're in right now.
Now, getting back on topic, what's your greatest memory of your son?
Oh God, there are so many. But Michael, you know, I try and explain to people that Michael was a born leader back when he was young. I saw it in all his actions. And I kind of liken it to this. I think most of Michael's friends knew that Michael would do the right thing at the right time for the right reasons. And so as I watched him growing up, and I'm talking about when he's 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, it would be his friends coming up, okay, Mike, what are we going to do today? And Michael said, oh, well, we'll do this. And I think his friends recognized the same, those same attributes in Michael. So when I say he was a born leader, he was a born leader. He was the leader of his crew, whether it was as a lifeguard at Lake Ronkonkoma or even as a SEAL team. You know, Michael was all about team, not about Michael, which is why when we heard that there was a survivor, remember, Michael's team went missing for a week. We heard that there was a survivor. his mother Maureen and I knew, we looked at each other and said we knew it wasn't going to be Michael, because Michael would have sacrificed himself for his men before he would allow himself to be the sole survivor. So, but we're happy that Marcus Luttrell survived, because without Marcus, we would have never known Michael's story. And so Marcus relayed exactly what these men did during battle, including Michael, when he received the Medal of Honor reward, which was for what Marcus said. Michael stepped out into an avalanche of bullets in order to make a call for assistance. I don't know many people that would be willing to do that, knowing that they're probably going to die. So,
I would say probably 99%.
Sure.
Would not.
Sure. When I think of Michael, I always think of this pyramid that just gets smaller and smaller, because you go from becoming a leader to becoming a Navy SEAL, becoming a Navy SEAL officer, becoming operational, because there aren't that many operational teams, to going up to being in battle and then the Medal of Honor. You realize there are only 3,500 Medals of Honor that have been awarded since the Civil War.
Wow.
Michael was the first for Afghanistan, the first sailor to receive the Medal of Honor since 1973, the Vietnam War. So Michael was a lot of firsts in a lot of ways.
Honest to God, American hero.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. And I think Marcus said it best in his book, Lone Survivor, where he said, if they could build a monument to Michael, it would have to be higher than the Empire State Building. Because he just was a leader people would follow, and courageous. He just, courage unmatched by anybody. Just an incredible young man, a really incredible young man. I was honored to have him as my son. His actions reflected exactly what I would have expected Michael to do when faced with what he had to face. And so he was, as I said, a team player. He fit perfect in the SEAL team, because it's all about team, it's not about individuals. And so he was a team player, which is why, believe it or not, we don't have anything like a bronze to Michael, because Michael would freak out, but really, because it was never about him. If you ever see any pictures, he's always standing in the background. It was always about his team, his teammates. So when we dealt with issues that came up, for example, the USS Michael Murphy. There's a Navy ship, a DDG-112, Arleigh Burke destroyer. But when the family got together and the Navy told us they were going to name a destroyer after Michael, it was important to us that Michael's team was involved. So we had all 19 men had their names inscribed in the keel plate that was put in the ship.
Wow.
If you go through the ship, you will see a biography of each and every one of the 19 sailors in the Army who were lost in Red Wings, and the two rigid inflatable boats on the ship are named Dietz for Danny Dietz and Axe for Matt Axelson. So
wow.
That was important to us. So in any monument where you'll see something with Michael, it's always the team. There's a team there. It's not just Michael. It's like Michael's there, but there's a picture of his team and the names of the men that were lost in Red Wings. So that was important to us, because just for your viewers' information, Michael would be rolling over in his grave if it was about Michael, because it was just not his way. It was never about him.
So the museum opens this coming spring.
Yeah, our plan is we have our executive director, which we just hired, as a retired Navy SEAL, who lives in Santa Mauritius. He's going to run the operation. We're going to have a soft open. We'll probably open, I think, in early spring of 2022, with a red ribbon grand opening on June 28th, the anniversary of Red Wings.
Wow.
I've been in touch with the Navy, and I've been given assurances that they're going to send for the opening Michael's SEAL team over from Hawaii, representatives from the ship, the USS Michael Murphy, and we hope to have the leapfrogs jump in. That's the Navy parachute team. 10 of them jumping out of a C-130 will land in the basically the driving range, which is right next to the museum.
Wow,
yes,
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing. We even got Michael's SDV, the SEAL delivery vehicle, the little mini subs. That'll be on a display pad outside the museum, so that people can get a sense of what Michael's team did. When you look at this tube and you think that you have 4 to 6 Navy SEALs in the back on oxygen, underwater in blackness, with just the navigator and the driver up front, which is what they use for missions, because they'd be attached to a sub, they'd release from the sub, they'd go 2 or 3 hours, come in and complete their mission. It's amazing what these men do.
It's phenomenal.
I shake my head every time I would hear Michael tell me about what they did. He had 4 deployments. The last one, obviously, Afghanistan. He enjoyed the work a lot. So I rue the day that we lost him, I'm happy that he did what he wanted to do, and that's that was the most important. That's how he got the name. He got the name Murph the Protector to give you a sense of him. When he was in 8th grade, a bunch of bullies were trying to push a special needs kid into a locker, and Michael jumped in to prevent that from happening, and was given ultimately the name Murph the Protector. We got a call from the principal who said, look, because there was an altercation, your son was involved, he had to leave school, but we don't want you to punish him. He said because he's not suspended, he's coming back tomorrow, but when there's a fight, they have to leave school. But they said that he was actually protecting a special needs child who was being pushed into a locker by 3 bullies. Typical Michael, to get involved with helping someone that was less fortunate, an underdog. It was just Michael's persona.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. But Suffolk County and Long Island have returned the favor. I give a lot of speeches to the special operations community, and Suffolk County and Long Island are on the map. They know about us, and I hear it all the time. They say to me, Long Island knows how to treat their heroes. Yeah. And not just Michael, but Keith Bishop, the Green Beret who was lost in Afghanistan on a drug operation, McNaughton, who was lost, a police officer, New York City police officer that was shot. So they know this, and so they say, oh, Long Island treats their warriors and heroes the way they should be treated. And so that's talking in California. They know all about Long Island and what our community does for our heroes here.
Absolutely.
And so I think the patriots and the citizens of Suffolk County, Nassau, Long Island should be proud of the fact that people notice what they do.
Absolutely.
In this, so it works out really well. Yeah.
I want to thank you for your time.
Thanks, Chris. It was good talking to you, and good talking to your audience.
It's been a real honor speaking to you.
Thank you so much. I just wish people could have met Michael. They would have liked him as soon as they met him. He was an incredible young man. He really was.
All right. Thank you again, and I look forward to the opening of the museum.
Sure. We'll make sure you're there. Okay?
Appreciate it.
Okay, you have a great day.
All right. Let's get some breakfast.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah.